Hey guys, good evening. This is UC from iTradePrices, and it is a little past 8 p.m. Eastern, January 25th. Thought of making a weekly video. We haven't done that in a while. I've just been busy with stuff. So maybe, sort of an end of the week or midweek, whatever you want to call it. Let's just look at some charts. So month of January, right? So this is the third bullish month, right? We're still in a nice up channel. Usually, after 3 or 4 months like this, this is like this, I won't be surprised that we do see when the February starts, we push up a little bit and then see some sideways to down move, right? On the monthly level, still stays bullish, nothing that changes, but it's just, some sideways action can come into play starting February, right? Here's the weekly view. Really nice run. No red bar saw any downside follow through. This was the only one recently that we saw. And then we got, kind of kept on pushing up. Even in the daily view, you can see even the red days had bottom wicks, right? And then whole momentum going on. The volume was increasing a little bit as well as we were moving up. So really nice solid run here, right? What's next? Well, of course, nobody knows that, but of course you play the levels, right? Depending on how we trade. So this is like this, 2 days of sideways movement, just like this. So maybe we see a little bit of dip. The futures are down a little bit after hours. So I would, let's bring back the levels, right? There you go. So 424, right? We bounced from that level. Below that, we have a gap fill. So let's see how it opens up, whatever. But then if I drill to an hourly view, I would say, below 425, 426, this is where the support came, right? And then we saw a little bit of rally earlier in the day, and then we sold off. We broke down below this swing low, right? And then we rallied back up, and then this whole fair value gap came into play, and then just kind of broke down now, right? After hours below this 424 remains heavy. Now what is the level below that? We have this 422.6, and then this whole support level where we moved up from. So that becomes your 422.6 to 420.6 becomes your downside target on further weakness, right? But it has to remain below 424, of course, right? Otherwise, if it goes above 424, we can target maybe 426.5. That's where the intraday weakness came in, right? Earlier today when we saw the bounce. So that's your play. Okay, let's take a look at SPY. Probably similar look and feel. So let's zoom out. Here's the weekly view. So we are at the top of the channel, right? So you can see a lot of, I'd say, conservative players in the market, right? We broke this high right here, right? The week before, right over here. And then we see a little bit of follow through here this week. So now we can definitely come back down like the next week to retest this whole 478, 480 level, right? Because that's where we saw the small breakout from, right? Let's go into daily. It's much more clear, right? In a daily view, this was the level, right? This one like this one like this, and then this is the bar that broke above this resistance. So now definitely this is your level, right? For 82.5-ish. Let me bring the levels. It's just easier to see like that, right? So that's your sort of a support level that it bounced from, right? Giving up that 485, 484, giving up that targets 482.7, and then a back test of this channel's trend line, right? Could be a fair value gap thing as well. A lot of people like to trade in this zone, right? If it comes back around 481, 479, look for a nice bounce. Okay, that's the pullback play. Let's look at Tesla. Traded the hell out of this name today. Our bias has been bearish since the breakdown of 247, right? Again, I don't have that chart, but basically this was the resistance, right? Going up 247, and then we broke below that, right? After getting rejection from there, and since then it's been just kind of weekly chart has been weak, right? And then we gave up to 36, 223. This is the level that I was really hoping that it would hold to see any reversal. When it did not do that, then all bets were off, and it was just really, this level was the magnet, 195, which we saw after the earnings. And then today at the open, let's go into a daily view. Really big gap down, opened up right here, 190, tried to go back up, couldn't do it, sold off and closed towards the lower end of its daily range. Now what's below this? We have 178.2 to 164.3, right? We do have the other levels as well, right? But those are like all intraday levels and stuff. But the major levels are 195, 178, and then 164 here in the immediate future, right? So if it bounces back up, I would say if it remains below 186, 187.5, that's where we saw some intraday breakdown, right? Maybe it bounces there at 187, 187.3, gets rejection, shorted back towards 178, right? If it rallies, right, then definitely 191 is your level, all the way to 195 for a retest of that. Okay, so that's sort of the Tesla play, but definitely the momentum is down. Amazon earnings coming up, right? I will be initiating a lotto play on this one. I mean, if I zoom out, it just feels like Netflix, right? I mean, if you let me bring Netflix before the earnings, that's exactly how it was, right? That's exactly how the pattern was trying to play out, and then we saw a breakout after the earnings. If I bring back Amazon, exactly similar look and feel, right? So I want to initiate a lotto towards like 170C, or actually it's not a bad idea to get not only a 170C, maybe like a 140P as well, right? That's like the down uptrend line. That could be a retest, bounce from there, quick bounce, something like that. But yeah, those are the two trade setups that I see. But I'm leaning towards the bullish side just because based on the structure, based on how the price broke out of this resistance, then just went sideways, retested that level, bounced nice, and now it's going a little bit of a follow through with earnings coming up. This is the structure high back from a couple of years ago, so 168, 169. Okay, Google nicely up trending name, weekly view, right? Since the past maybe few months here, like from like November time frame, no bearish week sees any downside follow through, right? Except this one, but then even that was not really, a long bearish bar like that, right? It was just a pullback, and then we stayed within the uptrend, right? And since then we have had nice upside, right? Earnings coming up, close. Let's see what can happen if we go up one level to monthly. We are already taking out the all-time high. This can just push higher, right? I mean, with the momentum, with the AI stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, if it wants to come back down, then the nice pullback level is not until like 142 to 143 here, right? That's where the monthly resistance was, right, for all this time. Once you broke out of that here in January, right, this is the level for the retest on the maybe an earnings type pullback, right? That's what you want to see. Okay, let's take a look at Microsoft. What a name. This has been running like crazy. Nice weekly view. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. Nice bullish monthly chart, uptrend. December was a little bit tight, and then we saw a nice bullish breakout on the monthly time frame here. Weekly view, again, no bearish follow through to any red weeks, right? We had a consolidation here for the longest time right here, right? And then this was a little bit of breakdown, and then immediately trapped the short sellers, and then just boom, back up, right? So now we have this earnings coming up. Let's see what that earnings will do. But of course, it will probably always a binary, even it can just pop like crazy up, or it can just come back down. But if it comes back down, 384 is sort of the level, but a really good level is not until 369. But not sure if it will come there or not, but it can after earnings, right? Comes down, bounces back up. So those are the two levels you want to be long at if it comes down to that level. Netflix, we already talked about. What a nice name, breakout. I think with the way it's going, if we go into a monthly view, monthly chart targets this right here. This was the area we broke down from, so that becomes your natural upside target, 600, 611 on a further strength here, right? Here's the daily view. I think it can keep crawling up, right? Or if you want to retest, if it does retest, 527 is the number otherwise, but with the momentum going on, I don't think it's going to happen. Goldman Sachs holding long. I like this name. Long from like 375, 377 was the ad. Once we broke out above that, did not trim here. I should have, could have, but hey, you know, things happen. I just did not like the fact that it came all the way down to 380, but that was a quick move down and then a back up now. So let's see if it wants to develop this base here a little bit more between 389 and 374. But I would target 396, and then if it breaks out finally, you know, definitely you have this sort of a flag thing going on, and then it can target this 410 to 420 area. Okay, let's take a look at AMD again. This has been the most profitable name for me personally to trade this month, right? This year as well. So what a nice name, big bullish trend bars. Higher lows and higher highs, right? A level that I see where I can, well, it is right there. Actually, it's not bad to, oh man, I should have bought maybe at 174.8, right? If I bring the levels, that was a good level. I always like to buy, like, for example, if you see, this is the area, this was the swing high, right? And now we made another swing high, right? So if it comes back down, it can definitely retest that area before bouncing back up. And this is also an uptrend line. So if I bring the after hours, we're almost there, right? So we'll expect some sort of a bounce in the morning, right? At least towards 177, 176, and then see if it wants to go down, touch 171 for an uptrend line bounce move, right? We have earnings here coming up next week, mid next week, right? So that can keep the price elevated, right? So I like this here. I like this here. Nvidia, I think we already talked about this. It's just a swollen name right now, but it keeps swelling up. So, but it's gotten to the point where the risk reward does not make sense, right? This is like the third week, consecutive week that it is trading with the higher high, higher low, right? Getting close to this channel as well. So on further strength, I don't mind actually getting into, if not put, maybe selling a 700C, right? Just because it's so stretched, this name, right? I mean, it's just, even if you take this as a bull flag target, we're already above that. So it's definitely stretch. Selling calls maybe make more sense because, you know, you're just kind of trying to take advantage of the theta decay. Puts might not be that pay you that quick because it will really have to sell off to do that unless you buy some sort of a in the money put or something like that. Let's take a look at Meta. Oh, what a name, man. This has been running with earnings coming up. Who knows? This just can keep on. You can see it at 500. Who knows, right? This has been a very strong name since the past almost a year now, right? Since the early 23, this has been running, right? This is a weekly view. Here's the monthly view. Yeah, I mean, if it pulls back, then definitely 363 is your area for an entry. If it does come back there next month or something like that, right? You really need that kind of a pullback in this name. And here is the Apple weekly view, right? Wow, looks nice. I mean, it's just, you know, making a higher low here on a weekly time frame. If you look at the monthly view, it just looks primed to kind of continue its move higher, right? It just broke above this level right here, retested that level. This is a monthly chart, right? And now it just kind of got rejected at 198 or 200, right? Psychological level, but now it's coming back up again. Here's right, and if it breaks out, maybe on earnings, it's blue sky territory, right? There's nothing up there. So here's the daily view. Consolidating above 192 is good. If it dips down, gets bought there, even better. Other than if it breaks down from 192, then 189 is your level because that was the resistance on the way up right here, right? Once we broke out, that becomes your level. So Volume has been nice. We'll see what happens, but with earnings coming up and the whole Apple glasses and everything else, this could, definitely, I think it depends on their outlook more than the past or the current quarter numbers. We'll see what happens, but this is what it looks like. Okay, hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. Thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.